And then there are some of you as well that I feel are close to purchasing either a home or other big ticket item, which I feel like you're either going to begin that process this week or, begin like the loan process of it, or finally deciding, yep, going for it. And some of you will actually be sealing the deal. So if you've been anxiously waiting to close on a house, it'll happen this week for you. Health-wise, I feel some of you have been dealing with a health problem, and I kind of feel your usual doctor may not be the best one to help you. I feel strongly that you should get a second opinion, even if you have to travel outside of your local area to find it. Obviously, I'm not a doctor, and I'm speaking intuitively, but I do feel you should get a second opinion. Especially, I feel like some of you have been questioning it yourself, so just go for it. Some of you are on the opposite end. You're strong, and you're robust, you're full of energy, you're feeling pumped, you're like ready to go. I feel you'll decide to correct some bad habits this week. Maybe you're feeling good and you realize, you know what, I'm drinking like 2, 3, 4 drinks a night. Maybe I should chill out and cut down to maybe 1 beer a night or something. So I feel like you're going to make some little tweaks within your week when it comes to your overall health. Some of you might set some new exercise goals. And then the rest of you are just kind of in the middle, right? Like health-wise, you're not sick and you're not feeling pumped. You just kind of feel like, normal, I guess, whatever that means. So I feel like this week you'll find yourself resting a little bit more and kind of de-stressing and unwinding. Maybe I see some of you like taking a bike ride, or maybe even having a conversation with a stranger. Spiritually, I feel if you've been down, some of you have been down in the dumps and struggling in life. This week, the energy lifts. You'll experience some spiritual awakening and some balance over mind, body, and spirit. And you'll slowly start to begin to feel better. Some of you have been seeking spiritual answers and you haven't gotten them, and you're just like, what the hell? Why aren't my guides talking to me? Why am I not getting this answer? I don't know what's going on. It feels like forever. This week, you'll have the answer come to you like, boom, suddenly, like there it is, that awareness. It could actually be when you're traveling, experimenting with a new spiritual practice, or just a shift in your routine. And overall, everyone should pay attention to their dreams this week. I feel like, there's going to be some messages there for all of you. I hope everyone has a great week ahead. With a little forewarning, I feel like you can navigate your day-to-day a little bit easier. I'm going to skip the moment of Zen tonight, but what I am going to do is ask your guides and your angels to help you navigate the week ahead for your highest good. And I'm asking them to basically give you a little energy blast tonight when you're sleeping. That way, tomorrow when you wake up, you'll be pumped, you'll be ready to go, and grab the week ahead. I only have 7 minutes left, and I want to take the caller. So hi, Irene, you're in British Columbia, Canada. How are you?
Good, yourself?
Irene, hi, Irene, can you hear me?
Yes. Hello.
Hello. Okay, I think
Hello.
we may be on a little bit of a delay, so how can I help you this evening?
I was just wondering if you can pick up anything for me in general on a spiritual note.
Sure. So I kind of feel like you have a goal in mind. There's something specific that you've been thinking about, and something, it feels like you are for you to communicate your boundaries and to be honest about what you want out of this relationship, or if you're not interested in this person, that you need to express that. And I feel like, it's all about communication. So it's kind of a weird energy in the love department. If you're in a committed relationship, then there's some trouble in paradise where you guys need to work some stuff out. Does that resonate with you?
Well, I've been separated for 6 years with my husband. He's with another woman now.
Okay. Are you interested in someone else? Is there somebody that's interested in you? That there's like a pushy, I don't know, there's an energy there.
Not at this moment.
Okay, well then maybe that's coming your way. And the advice is for you to not rush things along, and you need to take your time. But I feel like you really need to open up yourself. I feel like you've got some you've got some walls around your heart thanks to your ex. I think that was kind of he cheated on you?
Yes.
Yeah. You've got to work on letting go of the betrayal. Not all guys are cheaters, right? It's only going to happen again if you don't allow yourself to deal with those emotions. It's okay to be angry. You just need to feel it and move on. And you know, I think it's best that you're not with him anymore, okay? Like, I feel like this is in the best interest for you, so please try to find something positive to move forward in finding some new love. Get out there and date. Hang out with some girlfriends. I don't feel like you're doing much of anything. You feel a little bit like you're a hermit. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay, I don't want you to be a hermit anymore. You don't have to. I feel like you need to go and, you know, go get your hair done, get your nails done, go get some new clothes, like, feel good. I want you to do something that makes you feel inspired and feel good, and that energy is going to just attract more of that to you. Are you thinking about buying a car or a plane ticket, or are you trying to go somewhere or do something?
Well, I was hoping to buy a bike.
You're hoping to buy a what?
A motorbike.
Okay, I feel like you can buy that motorbike. Yeah, I feel like you can get a motorcycle. You already know which one you want, right? Because I feel like you already have it. You already know what you want.
Mhm.
Is it blue?
Not that I know of.
Okay, so I'm feeling like whatever motorbike that you end up with, there's something blue within that bike. To me, it feels like there's a color blue in it. Or it could be connected to the person who you get it from, but there's something with blue. I'm not really sure what exactly that means. Financially, I feel like things overall are going okay for you. I do feel like you need to pay down some debt.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Radio and Moonstruck TV. I'm your host for the next half an hour. I'm Dana, Spirit Butterfly, that's D-A-N-A, and I'm a soul coach, a spirit channel, and a movement energetics therapist. And I always like to give those 3 titles because at the moment, titles, I mean, what are titles? Titles tell you a little bit about me, and for some reason in this modern world we tend to separate movement, we tend to separate our physical health, our mental health and our emotional health and our spiritual health. We separate them all, and if that's helpful for you, awesome, but I find that ultimately there's just one of me and I do many things just like you do many things. So what is today about? Today we're going to talk a little bit about jealousy, but before we do that, of course, this is decoding the spirit within. And the reason why it's called decoding the spirit within is because if you cannot recognize your spirit within, you will have difficulty truly seeing yourself in relation to the spirit without. That is the external world to you. And so I believe personally that all things have spirit, all things carry spirit energy, and some of us have physical form and some of us don't, and some of us have different physical forms. So for example, animals and trees and plants, they all have spirit and they all have a spirit within. But they're also connected to this beautiful spirit oneness that we're all a part of. All of us having our own unique soul code that is designed to be lived and designed to be expressed here in a physical way, in a physical world. So this show is about building the bridge between your spirit self and your physical self so that you can better align with your natural energy where you resonate best with, where you can be your full and absolute self, understanding that life needs a little bit of chaos and conflict in order for our souls to grow. But it also needs some downtime. It also needs a little bit of time to relax and digest and experience ourselves and to be grateful for the life that we have and to be grateful for the things that we have around us and the people and the situations that have come into our lives. When we can sit in with our energy and really respect ourselves and respect our situation and acknowledge that life is not supposed to be easy, you may find that on reflection on yourself, you tend to do better with your own judgment about yourself and your own judgment about the world. So, jealousy. Do you suffer from jealousy? Or have you experienced it? Have you experienced someone acting jealously towards you? If you have, then welcome to planet Earth, because planet Earth, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on which side of the market you sit, is all about competition, or at least believes, sorry, Spirit correct me, believes that it's all about competition, and it's not. It's not. It's about honouring yourself and honouring your space and honouring the gifts that you have and allowing that to come through you so that it's accessible for the rest of the planet to interact with, and thereby creating a beautiful harmonious matrix within you as well as with the external world. But when we see ourselves in competition, we tend to limit our field, we tend to limit essentially what it is that we do. And I want to give you a scenario. Essentially, if you look at all the advertising on TV and all the advertising that you see on social media and all these other spaces, you know, quite often there are trends or fads relating to what's hot and what's not. And if you follow those trends, you'll find that some of those trends basically control a limited space of market. And, you know, we're not all supposed to like the same thing. We're not all supposed to be exactly the same. We're not cardboard cutouts of each other. And so what happens to the planet? What happens to the planet if we're all buying one thing at one time? What it does is it actually cuts out a whole lot of people who have a lot of valuable skills to offer. And so it ends up driving the markets or the available goods that are available to us to be limited essentially in what it is that they offer us. So if you go to the supermarket and you're wondering why there's only this one brand of goods there, partially that's because human nature believes in, or at least our markets that drive essentially the products in our supermarkets, are based on this idea that if I advertise one thing and if I freeze out other players in the market, thus seeing myself in competition with these other players, I essentially increase my market share and I also increase the amount of money that I have in my bank account. And the challenge with that is that there's only so much money that can buy you your happiness, let's face it. If you don't have people that you trust around you, if you don't have true appreciation for yourself and for the choices that you make, if they don't align with your interior value system, then no money in the world is going to make you feel better about yourself. And so this then sits out of alignment with your soul spark. This sits out of alignment essentially with what you're here to do. And you're here to know yourself and share yourself and sit in a space of appreciation of the things that are around you in gratitude and love. Now, I know that to some of you that might sound a bit airy-fairy, but trust me, a lot of that feeling that you get when you sit back and you go, well, not everything is light and love. Look, that is true, but even sometimes bad things happen to good people for the reason of showing them about how they can love themselves better. And so, in a sense, sometimes the universal plane situates us in a position where we only have one way forwards, and that one way forwards is unique to you. And that can drive quite a lot of fear in your heart, and you can sit in the space of, I don't know whether this is the right step for me. And so what you'll do is you'll sit in a space of comparing your life with everybody else, thus you'll be in competition with everybody else, and you'll compare yourself to everybody else, and you'll look at all the people who you think are doing great, who you think are doing great, all right, who you think is doing great. And what you'll do is you'll compare yourself and you'll find yourself short. Now, the thing is that you may be an adorable, amazing, incredible, kind and compassionate person, and you may be walking out the door and exuding this your whole life. You know, you may be trying really hard to do the best you can with what you have, and you look around at all the people who are actually not doing that, and they're being a little bit selfish, and they're being a little bit self-interested. Of course, remember, a little bit of selfishness and self-interest is actually good for our soul's growth. But if they happen to be looking like they're getting a whole lot of money, they may be doing that at the expense of their spirit's happiness. You can't tell, and you're not supposed to tell. What you're supposed to do is not compare yourself to other people, because you cannot be happy living someone else's life, and that's essentially what competition drives you to do. So this is a brain program. You know, we often talk about the brain program, this idea that, you know, my consciousness controls the gateway between my spirit self and the physical world. And so where my mind goes, energy flows. And so if I've grown up with a program that tells me that I need to be earning a certain money in a steady job, then I will have difficulty conceiving a world where I actually embrace my natural gifts and step into something that is worth my time and worth my energy, and that I would value so much that I wouldn't care if I didn't earn that much. That for me would be happiness and joy. But the thing is that if I listen to the program that tells me that that is not success, and that success happens to be when you are in direct competition with everybody else and you're doing better than the Joneses, then essentially what you're going to find is you're going to be the subject of jealousy, and you're going to experience jealousy. You'll also experience envy, and you'll also experience my personal favorite, FOMO, which is, of course, stands for fear of missing out. And so that's that belief that you are not enough. That's that belief that you do not have enough. And so you go searching for more. And certainly I know for most of my own life, I have spent a lot of time looking for the next thing and looking for the next thing, because I never felt like I was enough. I never felt like I had enough. And so lo and behold, what did I experience? I've experienced quite significant backstabbing, and I have experienced quite a lot of, I don't know if I can say that on radio, other people talking quite badly about me behind my back. And that really was attracted. Remember that we are magnetic beings, so we have a point of attraction that attracts certain behaviours towards us. That was because I was fearful that I wasn't able to belong. I wasn't able to keep up with the Joneses. I felt like I wasn't able to be a part of society because I was always that little bit different. Now, the beautiful thing about spirit work that I really love, and unfortunately I can't fully articulate this to my friends who do not believe in spirit, and thus I do have a little bit of a challenge communicating with them still, and it breaks my heart, but of course I have to honour the fact that that's their journey, and I do love them, so because of that I do honour their journey. But it is so amazing when you do start to learn about your spirit, what makes it work, what makes it tick, what inspires it, and how you create your own life, and how you can align your values with your actual behaviours so that you're sitting on the wave of what it is that you genuinely believe and value, and you're expressing that on a daily basis. When I do that, I find that those incidences of jealousy and envy have started to fall away, and I no longer conceive my life in the same way. The also most beautiful thing is that I've naturally started to develop a curiosity about the local produce that's produced here in Melbourne. I've also started to wonder a little bit about how it all works when I start to look for the things that align with my values. For example, I was working at the Body, Mind and Psychic Expo in Melbourne last weekend. And I went around and had a conversation with a number of the store holders, and I met some amazing, amazing people. And Spirit told me I needed myrtle. Lemon myrtle. They kept saying I needed lemon myrtle, and I was like, what are you saying, lemon myrtle? So anyway, I walked around and I saw this stall, and it was called Florence and Myrtle, and I was like, I'm pretty sure I have to be here. And I started talking to the lady, and I suffered lifelong from eczema. And I have been curious about finding a soap that's not going to irritate my skin. And lo and behold, for the first time in my life, I found one. And it's from this lady called, who runs a company called Florence and Myrtle. And the thing is that she's so unassuming. She's doing her business. She's really trying to invest in something that she believes in personally. She has significantly put a lot of her own energy and time into this business. And she's very slowly growing her client base here in Melbourne. I've tried the soaps, and they're amazing. They're exactly what I was looking for. And so from that perspective, I'm starting to find what I was looking for, because I've switched my value system. I've stopped looking for the competitors. I've stopped looking for the fashionable and the fancy and the things that are going to look good because the advertisement tells me that it's going to look good. And instead, I've followed my natural resonance of energy, and I've trusted in Spirit, and Spirit has guided me to something that I feel will probably support me for life. Because nobody feels, if you suffer from eczema, you know what it feels like when you're using products on your skin and you feel a little bit scaly and scabby. In fact, I sometimes tell my friends it makes me feel like I'm turning into a dragon, because my skin gets a little bit scaly, and that's not very flattering, and I don't feel very great when that happens. So yay, Spirit. And that's just a very good example of where I needed to sit outside of my brain program, outside of the advertisements of what we're told. Remembering that the ones who can actually pay for the advertisements are the ones who control the wealth. You know, there is a plethora of amazing individuals in your local community who can provide you with amazing services. You know, their natural curiosity has taken them to a place where they've had to discover for themselves things that work. And from that perspective, they've dared to dream to run their own business, and they've stepped into that. And you've got to honour that, you've got to respect that, and you've also got to honour the fact that when you're buying locally, you're not exploiting the environment by the products being shipped. And there being an increased carbon footprint essentially to the products that you're buying. So do consider buying locally. Spirit is also reminding me that this idea of competition also is still a hangover from the age at which the patriarchy ruled the world. And so some of you will argue that the patriarchy still controls the wealth, and that is definitely true in the fashion of spiritual awareness of what patriarchy means. Of course, if you don't know what patriarchy means, it basically means that men run the planet rather than women. Now, we know that there's been a significant shift, and we love that there's been a significant shift in the planetary grid. We love that people are starting to see the roles of men and women not necessarily equal, but certainly equally valid. I don't like this idea of equality, because it would be detrimental to our energy to not confirm or not acknowledge that the physiological endocrine system that we have, our nervous systems essentially, don't work the same. And certainly our cultural programming is not the same. And of course, so when I'm talking about that, essentially we're talking about the difference between left brain and right brain dominance. Yeah? Sorry, my cat was just choking and just making sure that he's not going to die on me. Very important, these little pussycats, that you make sure that they're looking up, being looked after. And so when we're talking about the patriarchy, we're talking about a society where essentially we are very left brain dominant, and that's very rational and very controlled and very scientific. And we have a role, this has a role in our planet, certainly, but what we're not talking about is your intuitive aspect and your creativity, and essentially all of those beautiful consensual types of ways of working where we're looking at the benefit for the broader scheme of things, not just benefit to the individual. And so when we can shift essentially our perspective and understand that there's space on this planet for every single soul to do absolutely every single thing that their soul craves, when we start to then interact, we open up the energetic grid of potential for you. And those of you who are inclined to run your own business because you have a platform of something to say, then there's more space for you. And so I'm a believer in when you really want to bring something to the table, when you really want the planet to change, you need to embody this for yourself. And so Spirit's asking you to look around at role models or people who you hear are talking about these types of things, those things that resonate with you. It's not so that you can copy them, it's so that you can see how it sits with you so that you can choose whether or not that resonates with you or not. You know, when we look at other people, we're comparing ourselves because we want to be like them. No, be like yourself. But if there's something that they resonate or express that resonates with you, this is a reflection of you. So start to own that as a part of you and be you. It's so important for you to be you. Because without you, the planet is not so great. Or at least, excuse me, I'm just checking this out. It really certainly is a limited pie. You know, this idea that there's such a limited pie for us to all access is untrue, because the world works in spirals, and so anything we invest in starts to increase, and everything that you invest in starts to increase. So thank you for that, Spirit. We're going to now go to a caller, and we have Brooke Ann, thank you, in Willow Grove in Pennsylvania. How are you, Brooke Ann?
I'm good. How are you?
Really great, thank you. Really great. Thank you for calling in. This is Dana, Spirit Butterfly, talking to you.
You're welcome.
Is there something I can help you with today? Do you have a specific question you would like me to look at?
Yeah, I'm like in a situation with one of my best guy friends. Like, I have feelings for him, and I'm not sure how he really feels about me. And like, we live together, and it's just like a bunch of like mixed emotions. So I just want to know like how he feels about me.
Oh, awesome. Well, look, firstly, Spirit needs you to understand that the only way you can genuinely know how he feels about you is to ask him. And the reason why they say that is because we work in a world filled with presumption. And when we make presumption, we take away the individual's capacity to contribute to a situation. And all you do is you exist in the state of your perception. And your perception, as you know, gets clouded because you don't quite know what's going on. And what they're saying is that you're trying to take away the hard work of living by finding an answer that's easy for you. That said, they are saying that you do have a karmic background with this person. You have had a relationship with him before in a past life. And so in that, there is a reason why you guys are living together, and that's because there is a magnetism within your souls that is calling you to each other. And that's why you're a little bit confused. Right now, Spirit is asking you just to remind yourself as to why you feel something for this person, because if you feel something for this person just because he's there and just because he's available, this is not enough of a reason. They're saying that you easily talk yourself into things. And you talk yourself into things out of the fear that you're going to be alone. So from that perspective, they're asking you just to honour him in so much as if he does not indicate to you that he's interested in pursuing anything further, then they're saying that trying is not... What they're saying is that there's a part of you that's just waiting around for him to say something. And so the best thing really is for you to just call him out and ask him, is there something between us that's beyond friendship? You don't have to go, are we going to get married together forever? You don't have to go, do you love me? You can just say, is there something between us that's more than friendship? Because I'm feeling like there's a potential there and I'm not sure if it's reciprocated. And in that, you'll be able to give him an opportunity to actually communicate with you. They're reminding you that when you get into a good relationship, it is free of communication. So partially, it's also about practice for you. If you cannot practice with him, and he's quite a safe bet to talk with him about love, then from that perspective, you're going to have difficulty progressing anything with anybody. They're saying with regards to him, if I tell you absolutely that you guys are destined to be together forever, you're going to shift your behaviour, which he's going to start to feel a little bit invaded, because he's going to feel like essentially you're trying to make decisions for him on his behalf, and he needs the opportunity to make decisions for himself. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Awesome, because they do want you and him to maintain your friendship for the rest of your life. And they are saying that he is destined to be a part of your life for the rest of your life. But whether or not that's going to be in a love relationship in a way that serves both of you is less certain. They're not sure yet whether or not you're ready to hear where it's going.
Right.
They're saying essentially on another note that you want to focus on making sure that you are happy with your life and happy with the experience that you're having. At the moment, they're saying that your career could do with a little bit of massaging. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Awesome. Because I feel like your intuition has been telling you for quite some time that where you're at is not where you want to be, and you're getting a craving to move on.
Yes.
And so it's the perfect time for you to start to consider looking at careers that may be more interesting to you. And that may include working with kids or animals. That may include working with teenagers or working a little bit more in the space where you're helping other people to find a little bit more answers for themselves. At the moment, I feel like what you're doing for work is not necessarily helping you grow. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Awesome. Is there any other question that you'd like me to ask your spirit team about?
Well, can you connect with anyone that's passed over, or no?
Okay. The feeling I'm getting, do you have a grandmother in spirit?
Yes.
I feel like this may be your father's mother. Is that correct?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. So she's coming through essentially with a very light-hearted laugh, and I feel like she was someone who kind of what we call took the mickey out of life, and so I feel like she was someone who used to like to just make light of things, and from her perspective that was her way of chilling out and relaxing. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Awesome, cool. Because she's saying that you need a little bit more of that in your life. She's asking you to remember her when she used to do that. She's saying that it would really help you to do that for yourself. Do you also have a dog in the spirit world?
A dog, yes.
Okay, and would this be a little brown? I'm feeling like it might be a Cocker Spaniel, but I don't know if that's true. I'm just getting the floppy ears.
I have I've had a lot of dogs that cross over. I have a yellow lab, I've had a black lab, I've had a husky, and I've had a German Shepherd mix. So German Shepherds are more brown, like blackish, I guess.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm getting it would be the one who had brown on the ears. And the reason why the German Shepherd is definitely coming through, he's beautiful. He's a really beautiful little soul. They just want to come around and surround you, and they want to surround you because you know that when you were upset, they used to be there and they used to kind of cheer you up a little bit. And they're saying that you don't really have that connection with anybody at the moment, or any pet that really helps you with that. And so they're saying that when you're suffering a little bit, they're around you, and they're working to try to help you in the spirit world to get a new dog. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Awesome. Because they really do know that you don't do very well without a really great companionship, and so they are saying that that companionship is something that will come to you in the form of a dog, just so that you don't have so much pressure in the love space. You know, none of us are supposed to have so much of our hopes and desires hung on another person. We are supposed to have a number of different souls that support us through life. So they are saying, understand the spirit world is with you, and they're with you 100%. They're with you all the time. So do understand that you're very well protected. They love you. They come through with a lot of love.
Yes.
Awesome. Can I leave that with you today?
Yes, that's fine. Thank you so much.
Beautiful. Thank you. My pleasure. My pleasure. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Cool. So we're wrapping up the show. Just remember, you are your own worst enemy. Just sit in your highest aspect as much as you can, and you'll find that you'll get exactly what it is that you want. Don't be afraid to express yourself and what you need, and if you can't do it to another living being, make sure you write it down. It's really important that you do this. It's important because otherwise you end up with throat issues, and particularly I know in Australia here it's flu season, and when you don't get enough opportunity to talk out what it is that you're blocking, you'll find that things just don't move forwards. Remember that you can't expect someone else to just shift because you want them to. You have to ask questions and give them an opportunity to shift with you, specifically in love relationships. So just focus on yourself and be aware of who you are. I'm Dana, Spirit Butterfly, wrapping up today. Thank you to the producers who support me every single week. I thank my spirit team who are amazing. I also thank my pussycat who entertains me while I'm online. And you can catch me at www.danaspiritbutterfly, that's D-A-N-A, spiritbutterfly.com. Look me up on Facebook. Do hook in. We've got some really exciting shows coming through on the online platforms that I'm building. So all the best. Have a beautiful, beautiful week. Okay, take care.
Everywhere that we go, he makes people laugh and makes people smile, and I feel like I have that quality.
He's the one who always takes me fishing. I watch golf with him. And
I watch him cook, because when I grow up, I want to be a cook too.
We have the same faces like this.
Dad is the one, when you fall, that picks you up.
That unconditional sense of presence and reassurance is really what makes him my father.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Hi guys, welcome to Chakra Radio. This is Chakra Mystic, sorry about that. This is Polly Jo LeBay. I am definitely in hot weather here in Maine. I'm sure those of you on the East Coast have been having difficulties with this 90-degree weather, but we are all making it work, and I am making it work here. And I wanted to let you guys know that this energy that's going on since the full moon happened, it's all about flow. And it seems to be focusing around a lot of people's relationships, as well as things like behaviors and patterns that we don't want to do anymore. In my client base and in my classrooms, we've been talking about things like addictive behavior, even to things like our telephone. We all spend a lot more time on our devices than we used to, and when we are out of the present moment, it can cause stress and anxiety. If we're worrying about what we need to do rather than what we are doing in the moment, or if we're focusing on the things we missed or forgot, then we're focused on the past. And each time we do that, we get out of our energy flow. And the first place that takes an effect is in our relationships. So there's been a lot of interesting relationship energy coming up. We also know that, you know, whenever the weather is hot and we're really close to a full moon, a lot of times people can get extra cranky. And again, that's all about flow. And when we hold back our emotions and what we're feeling, we stop our energy from moving through our body. And anywhere we stop our energy from moving, we stop it in every other aspect of our lives. And flow is so important, not just in relationships, but it affects our jobs and our finances. It affects our creativity, and it affects how we can move forward in our life. And no one wants that. We all want to step into something that's a little more easy or definitely with a lot less stress. So whenever you feel the tension and the stress and the anxiety creeping up, that's an indication that you've stepped out of the present moment. So make sure when you get in that space to just really breathe into your own energy, focus on what's around you, pick out objects in the room so that you can, really relate to where you are now. I often will tell people, okay, tell me a few things in front of you, or like for me right now, I might say, name 5 things that are green in the room that you're in. And I would say, okay, there's a wall that's green, and there's green in one of the paintings, and I have green in my book bag that I brought my books in, and there's green in a towel that I brought to go to the beach. So that puts me here in the now, and it allows me to kind of drop my stress and drop my worry because I'm thinking about what's right in front of me. And, use that as a tool when you feel like things are getting a little heated, not just from the heat, but in your relationships too. So I'm going to welcome to our show Delta in Dallas, Texas. Hello, sweetie.
Hello, sister. How you doing?
Hi. What can I help you with?
Yes, sister. I was wondering on my question. I'm going to try to start a business, and I was seeing how the finance part was coming along.
Okay. So take a deep breath for a second. Okay. So what is your business related to, dear?
To RV parks.
Okay. And so I'm feeling it in your second chakra. That's good. So what has been going on with the business? Are you in the negotiating stage or the financing stage?
Writing the business plan and getting financing for it.
Okay. So what I'm feeling is I'm feeling relatively good flow, which is a good thing. That's the energy of creating something new, so that all feels in alignment. I'm feeling a little tightness in your throat, so are you having difficulty writing down your vision?
Just a little bit, yes.
Yeah. So sometimes it really helps when you're doing those kind of projects to focus on how it's going to feel when you already have it done. So imagine what it's going to feel like to have the RV park and have it all complete. Because when you can feel the energy of everything done, you step out of the worry of the
Okay.
the things that you have to put on paper. Because there's a little bit of a disconnect. There's a little disconnect between the amount of flow in your creativity and just putting it on paper. Are you still there, sweetie? Okay, so for those of you who are doing this type of thing, I actually have 2 very close friends who are working on some very large business deals. One is in the process of purchasing a building and a large dental practice, and another one is in the process of buying a retreat center. Both involve a lot of paperwork and a lot of business planning, and what I've been working with both of those people on is the flow of money. So making sure that the flow of your money and the flow of what the bank thinks the money is, all of that can kind of go together. And in that you sort of align your business plan with how that feels. So when you are working on how the energy feels around the business, you can really sense it coming into completion. And it doesn't matter what kind of business you are doing, how big or how small. You want to feel the money flowing from you to the bank, and from the bank to the place that you're purchasing it from, or the person, and then from that person into their bank. Because if you don't feel the money flow in all of those ways, then there'll be this hiccup or hesitation. And in this case, it was in the writing of the vision, and that can trip up a lot of people. And it's a great idea to bring in somebody as a consultant to help you with that, because there are professionals who will write up a business plan with you, because that's their job. They've been doing it for a long time. So that's one of the things I would definitely recommend if your energy gets stuck around that. So next up, we have Lisa in Birmingham, Alabama. Hello, Lisa.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you? What can I help you with, sweetie?
I've got some issues going on. I'm trying to get custody of my 2 grandchildren that are in foster care, and I seem to be having some roadblocks thrown up.
Okay. So take a deep breath for me. All right, and so the roadblocks you've been facing have to do with the courts? Is that accurate?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, and I mean, I'm feeling a very strong connection between you and your grandkids, but there's a little bit of disconnect up in the heart area. Is there grief involved or something, sweetie? So we are having an interesting evening. I told you guys about the flow and the full moon, and one of the things that happens is the technology and has difficulty with flow as well. So when that occurs, sometimes we have these little hiccups where we lose the person on the phone line, and there's an absolute reason the universe does that or experiences that, so I don't worry too much about it. For those of you who are dealing with this type of issue with the foster care system, often there's a lot of red tape that they have to go through on their end, and it's almost more difficult for them to be able to get everything done on their side, and it leaves you in an anxious place, and that can make it a little bit difficult. So I'm hoping that we will... Hi, do we have Lisa back?
Hey.
Woo! We lost you there for a moment. Hi, sweetie.
Yes, the phone went dead.
That's okay. So what I wanted to say to you is it feels like on their end of the deal there's a lot of paperwork that they're trying to do. It's like I sort of see like the caseworker kind of like up to her eyeballs or his eyeballs in like stacks of files. So one of the things that will help you is creating a really strong vision of the kids being with you. So everything down to like what their room is going to look like, what it's going to feel like with all of their stuff there, where they're going to go to school, every last little detail. If you can hold it in your picture, it'll bring the grandchildren closer to you, because it feels like they will end up with you. It just seems like it's taking some time, and it feels like it's on the foster care side of things as opposed to your end.
Yes.
Does that make
sense? I kind of feel like two of the ladies that are involved in this, like they're working behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I'm not sure about that. I just know that the energy is not flowing very well. So is there a supervisor that you can contact about resolving this?
Yes, I'm going to try to call and see if I can get in touch with her, but we have court coming up on the 19th. And I'm trying to do things positive to show her that, you know, that I'm willing to do what I have to do to get them.
Yep. Really what the court wants to see and is they really want to feel how much you love those kids and how much you're willing to do whatever it takes to make them happy and bring them into a safe place. And so what I was saying earlier on my show before you came on was that when we get anxious, we tend to be worried about the future, and then we send out signals of anxiety, and the person receiving it doesn't really understand why you're anxious. So you want to go into the court really, really in the moment and really make heart-to-heart connection with all of the people who are making these decisions. I keep seeing, like, imagine that your heart beam is this bright green and it's connecting to, you know, the either the judge or the mediator, whoever's going to be hearing the case. You know, really just allow that heart energy to kind of flow out of you so that they really just feel and sense this overwhelming love for your grandchildren. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
And you know, if you feel like the energy is sticky, I wouldn't be opposed to you going to their supervisor just to say, you know, I want to make sure that I'm ready for whatever you need me to have, and I'm just checking in because I want to make sure that I am, you know, have everything that you need for me to help this case go smoothly. And then they won't see it as you know, going around the back of the other caseworkers, but more like you just want to do what's best for your grandchildren. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so keep that in mind, and I do feel them coming to you. It's just, it feels like they're coming to you. It just feels a little bit farther away. So I'm not sure what that is, but the more you hold the intention, the sooner they will come to you.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much.
Does that make sense, sweetie?
Uh-huh.
So anything that we are... You're welcome, sweetie. Have a great night. Is there anything else that you had a question about?
No, I don't have any more. Thank you.
All right, thanks. We will talk to you soon.
All right, bye-bye.
So for any of you who are out there and you're dealing with a difficult situation and the energy feels stuck, you know, just know that that energy that is stuck may be, you know, just the fact that people are busy or they're anxious or they're trying to connect with you. So let's see if we can talk to our guy here. Delta, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Do we have you back?
Yes, I'm here.
So tell me your question again, sweetie.
It was in regards to opening up the RV park.
Yes, yes, yes. So what I wanted to explain to you was that the energy that I was feeling is really has to do about the business plan more than about anything else. And I'm not sure what the hiccup is there. Are you comfortable writing it, or maybe you need to get some help?
Right now, I'm really trying to get the land to start it off. And once I get the land, it'll really
I'm thinking that you might want to get somebody to help you write. Yeah?
Yes. Yes.
So say that one more time, sweetie. Oh, okay, great. So you need help getting the land. That's the problem?
Yes, right now, yes.
Okay, so what you want to focus on is that you have all of the space that you need. You can see it fully developed and how it's going to be. I mean, I see a pretty good vision of it myself, so I think you guys are on the right track. Be really creative in how you present what you want to do with the land. Like, the more you can show a detailed picture, the more excited the lenders will be to help your vision come true. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
So I feel like you just need to amp up your excitement in the vision part, like, you know, maybe draw it out or have somebody make a picture on the computer so that the lenders can see what you want to do with it and how you want to do it. And then once you have that clear, then you can write out the details of that, because it'll be so fresh and in front of your face, and they'll get excited to join you on your vision. Does that make sense, sweetie?
Yes, it does.
So one of the things that I'm picking up is, are you going to more than one lender?
Yes, I will, yes.
Like, are you going to more than one bank?
Yes.
Okay. So pay really close attention to the second one, because I keep hearing, you know, like, all of the things that can happen are, you know, really holding your vision as clear as you can so that other people see it too. The more people who can hold the vision of any type of business deal, you really can create new energy from that. So, like, for me, we're building a meditation garden at our sanctuary. And so the more people who are involved, the more people who can see it getting finished and can see what it's going to look like in their mind's eye, the faster it is occurring. So last year when we started, there were only a couple of people, so we only got a tiny bit done. And this year we had 3 times as many people, and so now the pathways are started and the clearings are happening and the new pathways and structures are getting done. So it's like moving even faster, and it's because we have more people holding the intention. So when you are doing something like a business deal, or even like our caller who was dealing with the court system with her children, her grandchildren, if you hold the vision of what you want to happen or what is meant to happen really clearly, and you draw it or you write it or you make a vision board, and then you get other people involved. So, you know, in the case of something to do with the family, the more family members who are seeing those grandchildren living in that house, the faster it will occur. And seeing the land being used for that marvelous RV park that I can already see. I see a bunch of them lined up, and some campfires and some picnic tables, so it's really kind of cool. There's even like a playground structure that I can see, and having that vision that you can share so that it allows the financing to come in, it allows the flow of money to come in, all of that works hand in hand. And you know, you can do this for anything. I mean, a lot of people do it around buying a new house. They envision how many bedrooms they want and how big of a yard and the neighborhood, you know, the style of the house. And the more details you can create, the more you become a magnet for that type of thing to show up, whether it's a house or a job. Most brides are really good at manifesting their perfect wedding. You know, they've got a vision of the cake and the dress and the bridesmaids' dresses and their colors that they're going to use and the time of year, and they've seen it so clearly in their own head. They just need to get other people excited about it too. So you can use this process with anything that you are trying to create in your life. And all of these are you in relationship to another thing, whether it's bringing children into your life or it's bringing a business to fruition. All of those things are about flow and relationship. So get out there and allow your creativity to flow however it's meant to for you, whether it's writing a business plan or it's, you know, sending out healing heart energy to allow yourself to create a beautiful family. You know, all of them, the wonderful things we can bring into our life are, you know, run with the flow, and you are really in a great space to start that energy going. So next week is the solstice, so I hope some of you are thinking about the beautiful sun energy and how to bring that into your life. And if you're in my neck of the woods in Massachusetts, you can always come visit us on the solstice. On Wednesday the 20th, we'll be doing our normal ritual where we gather and have a potluck dinner and share a meditation and some community, and we have a great time. So check us out at trinitymysticalenergy.com, and until then, have a great week. Bye, guys.
We just finished dinner and it was time for homework. He hates homework.
It makes no sense.
I don't know how he finds anything in his backpack.
I can't find my backpack.
Finally, we found his assignment. He rushed through it. I wonder if he even learned anything.
I wasn't gonna get it right, so I just wanted to get back to playing my video game. At least I'm good at that.
I couldn't even read his handwriting.
Holding the pencil makes my hand hurt.
I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's
I'm
just
trying as hard as I can.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. That's why there's Understood.org, a free online resource for the parents of the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues. Here you'll get personalized recommendations, practical tips, daily access to experts, and more. Go from misunderstanding to Understood.org.
Hi, I'm Ron, and thanks for watching Moonstruck. And now A1R on the air.
Psychic Talk Radio on Moonstruck TV. Enlightening television.
Hello and welcome. You are listening to Sensitive Soul Radio with Sheila Kay, and we are on Ask One Radio, the world's #1 psychic radio network, and we're also on Moonstruck TV as well. So I'm super excited to be here again tonight, and I'm going to be speaking to you for a little bit about a topic that I spoke about a couple of weeks ago, which is energy vampires, psychic vampires, and what you can do about it and how you can recognize it, because I feel that this is so important for people that are sensitive, empaths, light workers and the like, to understand this. I feel that this is a really important topic, so I'm just going to go over a little bit more about that tonight. I'm then going to take a couple of calls, because I didn't get to do that last week because we were chatting for quite a while with the lovely person we were speaking to last week. And so, right, now let's talk about energy vampires again. So I've got a little book here, so if I'm looking down, I'm not ignoring you or anything like that. It's just that I need to kind of get my train of thought here. So with energy vampires, there are 5 distinct types of energy vampires. So the first one is called the perpetual victim or blamer. So this person will live in the belief that they are being controlled by external situations and people. So this is the type of person that will never take responsibility for their life. They consistently refuse to take any kind of responsibility, and they feel that they're persecuted and they're being pushed around and that everything is happening to them. They can often be quite passive aggressive as well, and they can be extremely negative. They engage in a lot of self-pity as well, so it's always, oh, why me, this is always happening to me, and they like to rant and rave about everything that's happened to them. So you can probably recognize people like that in your own life, and it may be that you've actually been like that at some point in your life as well. And they like to also play the role of the martyr as well. So, you know, this type of person they won't take any kind of responsibility. It's always somebody else's fault. So if they lose their job, it's not because they weren't doing a good job, it's because they didn't get on, you know, that it was their co-workers. Everyone was conspiring against them. So that's that type of energy. The next type of energy vampire is the narcissist, and I have spoken a little bit about this type of energy before as well. They've got an inflated sense of grandeur. They think that you know, they are the bee's knees and everybody loves them, and they think they are so important. And they're always seeking external validation for their accomplishments. So they want you to say, oh wow, you're brilliant, you're a fantastic person, and they kind of need that all the time from you. They can become angry as well. So there's a lot of anger with this type of person, and if other people don't see how great they think they are, they can get quite angry about that. They will never admit that they've done something wrong. So even if they have, they're going to project that onto you. So even if they've done something wrong, they're going to say, no, it was your fault. You did that. This is all because of you. And I recognise that quite a lot in a relationship that I had. Previously, everything would get turned around to me. It was projected back at me. It's your fault that this relationship is failing. You've done this wrong. It's you. They will never accept that it can be them. And then you've got the jealous gossiper type. So this is the person that is gossiping about everybody, you know, putting everybody else down. So instead of working on their own happiness, they're so busy putting people down and talking about people and being critical about people. So, you know, you'll notice this type of person. And there's a lot of it in the workplace as well, because workplaces can be quite negative. They can be quite toxic, and they like gossiping. You know, they get real pleasure in, you know, it'd be like, oh, did you hear about so and so? And did you hear about so and so? And they love it, and they like to get everybody embroiled in all that gossip. And they're very, very, these are the drama queens as well. They like to build something up, and they can be quite judgmental as well about other people. And they're quite resentful about other people that are successful. So if they see someone else, so let's, for example, take this into a work environment. So they see someone that gets a promotion that's doing well. They're quite resentful about that. It's like, well, no, they didn't deserve that, or what are they doing to get that promotion? So they come across as resentful as well. And then you've got the person called the dismal. So this is the 4th type of energy vampire. And this person has an aura of doom around them. So you can automatically feel them, because when they walk into the room, you know, it's this like this negative vibe around them. It's like doom and gloom, and they're pessimistic, they're highly insecure as well, and very anxious. So there's just this, you can feel the energy drop when they come in the room, and you feel drained when you've been around them, because all they do is talk about the horrors of what's going on in the world, and what they've heard on the news, and they kind of wallow in it, and it can be very, very draining as an empath to be around that type of person. So you need to kind of watch out for them. And then you've got the last type of energy vampire is psychopath, and they're the rarest type of person, but they are the most dangerous. And these are essentially that they're predators, and they can be quite violent. So, you know, and they can be like hardened criminals, con artists, etc. That type of person would fall into this category, and avoid those at all consequences. That would be my advice there. So that's just a little bit about energy vampires, because I wanted to kind of give you just a little bit more information about that, because as empaths it really can suck the energy out of us, and we need to be careful when we're around this type of person to know and understand what is happening, and protect ourselves from it, so that we can either distance ourselves or just try and stay out of their energy. Okay, right, so that's just a little bit, and now I do believe we have Jasmine on the line from Queensland. Are you there, Jasmine?
Yes, I am.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
Good, good. Okay, and what can I do for you today?
I was just wanting to get a bit of a reading to try and give me a bit of guidance to what direction I should be headed in, if possible.
Okay, no problem. Right, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to shuffle my cards, and then we're going to have a little look at that, and just ask questions as you're going through as well. You know, stop me at any point. It's not a problem. Right, let's have a look what we've got here. Okay, so at the moment, what I'm feeling for you is that it feels like you've had quite a difficult time in the past, and you're kind of on your way up now, and you're kind of thinking about, okay, what is it I want? And it's like you want to bring in your wishes, your hopes, your dreams into the now. That's what I'm feeling for you. I also feel that you're quite a sociable person. You like to get out, you like to be, people like you as well. I feel that you're very likable, very sociable, and people are drawn to you. Does that make sense with your energy?
Yes.
Okay, now there is something I'm feeling that you're wanting to walk away from. So what is that in your life that you're wanting to walk away from here? Because what I'm feeling endings and new beginnings. So it feels like you're at this point now where you're ready to let certain things go from your life and kind of start that new journey. So what is it that you're ready to let go of?
The house I'm currently in, it's too small. I'd say that would be what I'd be feeling at the moment. I'm wanting to get a bigger house.
Okay, okay. So I'm feeling frustration with you at the moment. So it feels like, you know, it feels like at some points you're like tearing your hair out because it's like you want to get to like the next destination, but you can't quite get there. So I feel that you've spent quite a bit of time in this particular house. You've invested a lot of time there. So what is stopping you from moving then? You know, because I'm feeling that we've got that hit coming here for you. I feel I'm getting the timing of about 3 months. So what is it that you need to do to kind of to be able to move?
My partner doesn't really want to move unless we can get a property, because he has a lot of cars and just junk that he wants to be able to take with him. And he's hoping to buy a house because we're renting at the moment, so he only wants to really leave if we're buying the house, which I don't think is an option for us at the moment. So.
Okay. What I would say to you is, because I'm feeling that, you know, I've got another feeling here of you having to walk away. It's where you are at the moment is making you quite miserable, and it feels that you do need that new beginning together. It feels like I want to put your energy together, and I feel that you are going to be, you know, I've got an opportunity here coming for you out of the blue. So it feels like you are going to be able to get that opportunity to buy something, you know. So don't, I wouldn't kind of put that off or say that you can't have that, because I'm feeling quite positive about it. Yes, there are frustrations around it, and yes, there is going to be a little bit of struggle to get that, but I feel it's there for you. So I wouldn't give up, because what I'm seeing here is a successful ending to something that's dragged on. So you know, if the both of you have been thinking, right, we need to do this but we can't at the moment, I'm feeling a successful ending to the whole situation. You're going to get what you want here, because I'm sick with the star card for me. That is telling me that you're going to get this. This is coming. So keep focused in your mind about what you want, so you can bring that into the here and now and into the reality. And I'm feeling that I've got movement within the next 3 months, and I'm feeling within 7 months we could have you moved to a new area and into the house that you want. So does that make sense for you?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, and in terms of direction, so you wanted some guidance in terms of direction as well. Can you give me a little bit more about that so I can have a look at that for you?
I'm not exactly sure. I feel like I'm a bit lost at the moment. Like I'm not sure what I should be doing. But my main concern was if we're ever going to get out of this house. That was my main concern at the moment. So.
Okay, well, I do feel that you will be getting out of that, and I feel patience is quite important for you as well. You've got fears as well about stepping up and about moving forward, but it's all in your head. You've got nothing to worry about, because I feel that you're going to get this. I'm going to take I'm going to use one of my new cards as well, the Sensitive Soul Wisdom cards, just to give you a little bit of guidance on that as well. So let's just have a look what I have for you. Now, I've never used these before on this show, so this is a first for me, so I'm pretty excited about it, and I hope it works. Okay, right, so now I've got a fantastic card for you. Time for change. So this goes perfectly with what you're asking. Change direction, eliminate negative thoughts and habits, and rethink your situation. So what this is saying to me is, yeah, get rid of those negative thoughts about you can't do it, because I'm feeling it's there for you. You've got time for change, so that change is coming for you. Just don't hold on to the negative thoughts about it, or the habits that you kind of acquire when you're in that place of, well, we can't do it, and think about what you do want and bring that in, because it's time for you to change that way of thinking. So that's a perfect card for you, because that is a direction change. So again, this is telling me and reiterating that move is coming for you. All right?
Okay. I bought a ticket in a prize home that I've been sleeping with under my pillow, so I'm hoping that would maybe be the change for me, but we won't know until it's drawn, though.
So what was it, a lottery ticket, did you say?
Yeah, like I think it's, you'd call it a lottery ticket, but you actually win a $1 million house if you win it.
Oh, wow. Fantastic. Well, keep that positive, you know, those positive thoughts, because that's all going to help in you manifesting this new house. You know, just keep those thoughts, you know, keep thinking about what the house is going to look like, how many bedrooms it's going to have, the land around it. Just keep focused on that, because you're going to bring it in, you know.
Yep.
I feel it for you, all right?
Okay, awesome.
All right then, okay. Thank you for calling. Take care.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Right.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, now I do believe we have Lorraine from, I think it's Toronto. Lorraine, are you there? Oh, I think we've lost her. Okay. Let's see. Are we there? Have we got you back there, Lorraine? Okay, right. So we just wait for Lorraine to get back on the line there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a little bit of guidance for the rest of the week. So let's have a look. I'm going to use my cards as well for this. Right. So I'm just going to pick a card for the listeners, and what I have here for you, which is a beautiful card, is energy healing. So you may need some healing right now. Take some time to book your favourite treatment. So this is something that we should be doing as empaths and sensitive souls quite a lot. We need to be replenishing our own energy. So going to see someone else, getting a bit of healing, getting a bit of Reiki, and having that time for us, because we're so busy giving out our energy to other people that we often forget about ourselves. And I've been doing this quite a lot. I've been give. I've been working and not taking any time for me. And what happens when we do that is we burn out. We cannot sustain it as empaths. We have to have that time for us, or we just get so depleted and we cannot function anymore. And I have been very much like that. So it's a real good reminder for me as well to, you know, go and get some healing for myself. And so that is what I shall be doing. Right, I'm going to pull another card as well for the week for you. So let's have a look. I just love working with these cards because they're so simple to use, and they give such beautiful messages as well. Okay, so what the next card I have is Mirror Mirror, and what this is saying, I'll show you the card. It's a picture of someone looking in the mirror there. Perception is projection. What you see in others is a reflection of yourself. So you are creating your reality from within. So when you're seeing something in someone else, what you're actually doing is seeing an aspect of yourself. So it may be something that you need to look at in the outside world. It may be something that you need to take note of. So it's just to remind you about the mirrors, and that what you see in others is a projection of what's going on in your inner world. Right, okay, so we have Laura in Kansas City on the line. Hi, Laura.
Hi, Sheila.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. So what can I do for you tonight then, Laura? What are we looking at for you?
I was wanting kind of a general reading, but I have a couple of questions about work and then about intuitive gifts.
Okay, all right, so let's concentrate with work then, shall we first? So I'm just going to shuffle, and then we'll have a little look at that for you, and then we'll look at your intuitive gifts as well. So in terms of work, I'm feeling a lot of frustration there. It feels like it's like, you know, your head in your hands. It's like, oh gosh, I can't do this anymore. It feels really, really difficult at the moment, and I'm feeling that you're thinking about wanting to walk away from this. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it feels like you've invested a lot of time and energy into this particular job or career, but it's draining you now, and you're looking for the next opportunity. So where are you with your current job? What's going on there for you?
My current job is in a really, really toxic bureaucracy with a lot of very dysfunctional people.
Right. Okay. Right. So yeah, tell me about it. I've been there, and I know what that is like. So I feel that with your energy, I feel that you cannot be in that kind of energy. You just can't. It's just so draining for you. So what I'm feeling here, I'm feeling this opportunity coming in for you. And I feel that as we go on, have you been there quite a while now? Because it feels like you've been there quite a while, and this is really starting to take its toll on your energy.
Yes, I've been there 7 years, and it's not good for my health at this point.
No. But what I am feeling here, have you applied for other jobs? Have you been looking?
Yes, I've
Perfect.
absolutely been applying.
Perfect, because I do see something coming out of the blue, and it will just be something that you may have applied for and just forgotten about, because it feels like it just comes in straight away for you, and it's like, wow, amazing. And what I'm feeling here is that it feels like it's going to take a little while to get out of this situation, because you need to find the right position, because I feel that instinctively, because of your energy, you will get drawn into similar situations. Until we break that cycle, you'll be drawn back into the kind of toxic environment if you're not careful. And I feel you've got a lot of the gossipers there as well, which I was speaking about earlier. Does that make sense with where you are?
What was the last piece you said?
That there's a lot of gossipers where you are.
Yes.
So when I was,
yes,
yeah,
very much
it's
so.
very gossipy environment, and that I don't feel that you can be in that. So I feel that the energy of you're a very busy person. You've got a lot going on in your head. And I feel that you give your best within your work, within your job, and you want to do a good job, but where you are, you're being drained. So I feel that I feel it's going to be within the next 7 months, because I'm getting 7. Now that may not be as long as months, it may be 7 weeks that we get for this new opportunity to come in for you. So what I'm feeling, just be patient, because it is coming. So keep applying, keep putting that the energy out there of what you want to bring in, because it is out there. You've got a lot of fears. There's a lot of a lot of negative people around you, because I've got the Devil card for you, which is all about, it's the negative environment, and you cannot be in that, you cannot sustain it. But what I'm feeling for you is the new position that comes in for you. It feels like it's in an office environment. So is that where you are at the moment, in an office environment?
Oh, wow. This sounds good.
Laura?
This sounds very good.
Yeah, okay, so are you in an office environment at the moment?
Oh, yes. The new position sounds good, but yes, I'm in an office environment, yes.
Yeah, so what I'm feeling another office environment for you, but it doesn't feel as gossiping. It doesn't have that toxic feel. It feels more of a collaborative energy, and I feel that the management structure. So this comes down from the management structure, and it feels that they're more supportive of their workers, and they want to like embrace you and nurture you. So it's a real different feel to this company, and that's the type of energy, or the type of environment where you're just going to flourish, because everyone's so happy. It's just a joy to go in. And what I'm seeing travel with this particular job as well. So I don't know if there's any travel with what you do at the moment, but I'm feeling this particular role will allow you to, or that there'll be elements of travel coming in there for you, and you'll feel a lot more balanced. And it feels like, I feel that you take a lot of the energy home with you as well, so things are a bit out of balance at home, but in this new environment it completely balances itself out, and you feel like you can do things in the evening and you don't feel so drained. So does that make sense for
wonderful.
you?
That makes total sense. You are pegging it, Sheila.
Perfect. Right. So let's just have a look at the intuitive side. Did you say as well you wanted to have a look at?
I'm sorry. What the other thing was intuitive gifts, please.
Yeah, okay, let's have a look at that then. So we'll have a look at your intuitive gifts. Now, so the first, that you are an empath, you are a sensitive soul. There's no doubt about that. You do pick up on other people's energy. And I see that there's 2 things going on for you. There's 2 areas that you're interested in on the intuitive level. But I feel that you're pulled in different directions. So do you work with people that have gone through difficult situations? Is that an area that you're kind of drawn to?
It seems that people are drawn to me, people who have gone through difficult situations. People just come up to me and tell me their life stories frequently, and sometimes they come to me for advice just seemingly out of nowhere, and it feels like healing comes through.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is your gift. This is what you're here to do, I feel. So, you know, keep going down those lines, because you do attract the people that have had difficult situations, and that's part of an empath's role and a sensitive soul's role. So, you know, that is part of who you are. So just try and develop that, and I feel that you're going to be good at intuitive readings as well, because it feels like you can read people, maybe not using cards or anything like that, but it's like healing when you're talking to them. It's like they get you or you get them, and you can give them that support and guidance without using any tools. You know, it feels that you can just like talk to them and say, do you know what, I think you need to do this, or do you know what, I feel that this is what you need. So it's a real strong gift that you have there, Jasmine. Sorry, Laura.
No problem. Yeah, yes, that really resonates with me, what you're saying. Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. Right, I'm just going to pull one card for you as well from my deck, and what I've got here is diet and nutrition. So you just need to be looking at your diet as well, making sure you're getting enough good wholesome food in, and also drinking water. All right, Laura? So thank you very much for calling in. Take care.
Thank you so much, Sheila. Have a good night.
All right, take care, Laura. So there we are. Okay, so if you want to talk to me further or catch up with me on my website is www.sheilak-psychic.com. There's a lovely free gift, a lovely meditation on there if you want to grab that as well. You can get me on Facebook as well. I'm Sheila K. Psychic, sensitive soul. So you can get me on Facebook or Twitter, Sheila K. Psychic. So it's been an absolute pleasure to talk to the two callers tonight. I've loved it tonight. So thank you so much for listening in, and we will see you at the same time next week. So bye bye for now, my beautiful sensitive souls. Bye bye.
Papa!
Everything starts out small. The things that hurt us, they all start from somewhere. The words we say, the things we do, they can grow into something else. What was small and innocent can become big and sometimes scary. All it takes is one comment, one picture, one video for something to catch fire. But a big problem doesn't need a big response. Not at first. Even if we don't know what to say, the eye emoji can be that first step we take. Let's all pledge to take that first small step together and change the world in a big way. I'm a witness, and so are you.